Namaste. Welcome to day number 88. Today is a very dark and cold May day here in Montana. And it's a good day for crying. And that's what I have done today, and it's felt so good and just so purifying, and it's been releasing so much tension. And I feel like every time I'm able to just have this release of tears, that I fall deeper into myself, deeper into just this deep peace and serenity that's always there for us within. And the first 5 months of my kundalini awakening, I cried every single day. I wailed and just cried and screamed and every day I cried, and it was for survival. I had to, because I was going through so much. Just the tears and sometimes it was like rage crying and just super depressed crying. And since I've been healing, I've been noticing I cry less and less. Most of the time in the last 6 months or so, whenever I cry, it's just tears of joy. I'll be dancing ecstatically and I'll just start crying, or I'll see something beautiful, or think of something beautiful, or have this connection with somebody, and then tears will just spring forth. But every so often, I just get these tears of deep sadness that come up, and they're so beautiful and they're so liberating. And the tears today that came up came from this place of sadness and confusion. I was feeling confused for a while. I was feeling, with everything going on, I was starting to spiral into the kind of going down the wormhole, so to speak. And I was losing connection with what being a light worker really is. That we're here to anchor light. And the tears, as they started flowing, I just felt myself being released from the conflict, being released from the fight, being released from the idea that you have to defeat darkness, right? And I felt myself coming back home to my truth. And a beautiful thing that I've learned 88 days in to meditating every day for 2 hours, and I'm going to have to relearn this over and over again. I'm not saying I mastered this, but what I keep relearning over and over again is meditation is not about trying to get somewhere. It's not about trying to change your inner state. It's not about creating more productivity. It's not about any of that. It's not about, raising your vibration. Meditation is truly about just kind of jiving with the present moment, just kind of celebrating what is, just being fully with what is. And so often I share with you guys my prayer that I say, God, take my life. Use me as a divine conduit, God. Help me to surrender my egoic desires to you so that I can serve you. I share this prayer with you guys. But oftentimes in my own life, I forget I can just give my meditations to God too. We can just give our meditations to our higher self. We can surrender our egoic desires from what we hope to obtain from our meditation, whether that's whatever it is. You could say self-realization, a higher frequency, realizations, insights. There's all kinds of things that we might egoically be trying to get from meditation, right? We might be trying to become happier, And to realize, meditation is another beautiful surrender where we can just say, here, higher self, take my meditation. Help me to surrender whatever I'm trying to get out of this meditation. Egoically, help me to just give that to you. And so I did that today. I just gave my meditation to my higher self. And what I felt was this: when we give our meditation to our higher self, to God, we receive in our meditation what we most need for our nourishment, wholeness, and healing as a light worker. If we're ready for light codes and to be flooded with grace, if we're ready for lots of energy, our higher self will, and God will, deliver that to us. Conversely, if we need some time for integration and healing and rest and just deep, deep nourishment, well, then our higher self will give that to us, and our higher self will give us the space, the void, like I was talking yesterday, the emptiness, to allow all of the light to integrate, to allow the nervous system to heal. Because the reason we go in expanded states of consciousness, and this is something I learned from Matt Kahn, who is truly a saint. I could make a whole video about him. I'm sure I will one of these days. But Matt Kahn says it so beautifully, how we feel this expanded state of awareness and then it closes back down. And this is because the nervous system needs time to adapt to all this light. Our nervous systems are building the endurance to sustain, being able to stay at that frequency for longer and longer periods of time. And that's something that I've personally experienced on this path, is how over time our nervous systems do start to be able to hold more of a higher frequency for longer. But it's beautiful when we need the times to just let things heal, let things integrate. You'll find that those meditations, and I fall into this trap all the time, and I'm going to fall into it again. It's just something, sometimes we have to keep relearning things, right? The trap I kind of fell into yesterday that I was describing is I woke up in a really low state, just feeling ancient. And I really had the intention with my meditation to raise my vibration, to really work up more energy, right? But that wasn't what I needed. And I realized that throughout the day, that, what I actually needed was what I was being given. Just this space and this emptiness and the void to integrate all the energies that I've been opening myself up to. And so you'll notice your higher self. If you just give your meditations, give your 2-hour meditations, or whatever it is for you, an hour, 30 minutes, just give it to your higher self. And it's so beautiful how you'll find your higher self just provides you, your soul, your energy body, your emotional body, your mental body, your ethereal body, all of you, exactly what you need. Your higher self will send you lots of light codes and energy and realizations and new openings when you're ready. And sometimes your higher self will just send you peace and healing energy and deep, deep relaxation when you need to kind of recharge and let all the light integrate. And so that's what I've been experiencing today, and it's been really beautiful. Lots of tears, lots of just releasing tension in my meditations even. And I think that's part of really giving the meditation to my higher self and getting it out of the way. Is my higher self says, here, you need to release here. You need to release some of this tension. And I really feel that crying is one of the most powerful ways to integrate light in my own experience. And I usually experience this, like I said, when I'm crying tears of joy, There's so much light that I just start crying. And this is such a beautiful way to integrate this light. But today I felt it from a little bit of a different place. And it was just very restorative. And I wish I could cry more. And I'm sure I will cry when I need to cry. And I also wanted to share another tip. If you're feeling lots of light, dancing, ecstatic dancing, oh, that's such a beautiful way to integrate light. Dancing and crying. If you can do both at the same time, it's such a powerful way to really heal on this ascension path. And the last thing I wanted to say is breathe your darkness into light. Anywhere in you that you feel darkness, breathe it into your huge, beautiful, open, powerfully loving heart. And just love this darkness and within you. As we start loving the darkness within us, as we start bringing the darkness within us into the light of our open and loving heart, we start feeling our light grow. Because what we're doing is we're showing this darkness that it too is the light, that it too is source, it too is God. And when we feel the darkness within us, when we let it come up and we open our arms to it, when we embrace it with warm, loving, peaceful energy, this darkness, it starts integrating, and like I said, and our light just keeps expanding. And that's another thing I was doing today in my meditation. I was feeling some darkness, just a darkness around, some darkness of mine coming up. All this light we take in, it really helps us to start becoming more aware of the darkness that's unintegrated within us. We all have this. And this is a way to show the universe that you're ready for more light, is when you start letting yourself be open to the darkness within you. When you start pulling the darkness back into the light, when you start loving your darkness. This is how we make room for more light. This is how we allow our light to expand. We need both, This is a path where darkness isn't evil. Darkness isn't bad. It's a part of all of us. And it's a part of all of us that we must embrace if we are to harness our power as light workers. If we are to be able to anchor more light, we must open ourselves to our darkness. So breathe in your darkness. Breathe in your darkness so it can transmute into the light, so it can transmute into love. And I've been feeling it today, so much of this darkness is clearing. And this is something my higher self showed me in meditation today when I was just letting my higher self do the meditation. My higher self said, here's a next level way to transmute darkness. Rather than it's beautiful to just be open and accepting of it and allowing it to be there, letting yourself feel it and see it without resisting it. That's a powerful movement. But even more powerful is saying, I love you, and breathing your darkness in will transform it into light, will transform it into love. And I was just doing that with my darkness. I was like, come here, darkness, I love you. Come here. Because the truth is, we have enough space for all of our darkness. We have enough love for all of our darkness. And as we realize that we have this space to love all of our darkness, we start to realize we have this space to love all of the darkness in the universe. Because as light workers, we're not just here to create a new beautiful reality for ourselves. We're here to truly create a more awake and light-filled reality for everybody. That's what being a true light worker is about. It's about doing this work for everybody. So I'll leave you guys with that. Day 88. A beautiful day. I love you all so much. Namaste.